Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn KERBECK. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio. Your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. Jacalyn KERBECK, and it is a pleasure to have you here for our very first episode of the show, The Power Index, Women and the Men Who Listen. This will be a once-a-month program that you can find on USA Global TV and Radio and anywhere else that we are streaming. Joining me is an aficionado in this area. He's also a dear friend and a mentor. He will be celebrating 60 years in the broadcasting industry, and he is internationally known. He is someone who's an advocate for women. He's a regular contributor to major networks across the world. Let's welcome my dear friend and mentor, Mr. Ian Pelham Turner. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon. Well, good lunchtime for you. It's 5 o'clock at night, our time as well. And how exciting.
It's so good to be back here with you. We haven't done a show together in a while.
We haven't done a show together in a while. So first of all, before we start, I'm going to answer a question about you.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, and the question that you asked is, did you prefer your right picture or your left picture? Do you remember? You've done it on social media.
Yes, I did. I put pictures of myself up from yesterday and then December of 2025.
I have to say that the left picture, which is the latest one, if I remember rightly.
Correct.
You look fabulous.
Thank you.
But I swear to goodness, good on you. You see, this is what I love about women. Women will really look at themselves at times, and they will work really hard. And I know how hard you have worked in the past 6 to 7 months to actually create an even more healthier, happier, and wholesome lady, which is what you are. You're a genius, in everything that you do in life. And I tip my hat. If I had a hat, I would be tipping my hat towards you, because what you have done over the past 5 years is nothing short of miraculous. We both know that working in television is one of the hardest areas to do anything with. So many things can go wrong. So many sort of issues can sort of come up all the time. And there was always that story about how does a billionaire become a millionaire? And the joke was that they buy an airline. And I think the same principle actually is sometimes about TV stations, because it's like a pit that that you have to be able to circumnavigate, climb up all the time. And win. And that's what you do. You are probably one of the biggest winners I've ever met in television, and what you're doing right now with the values that you're doing, with the licensing, events that you're doing as well, is very, very good. And I think, the future, I believe, it's the time for the brave right now. I look at the world at the moment, I look at what's going on in this world at the moment, and this is a time for brave entrepreneurs to actually move forward in their careers, and you will win, but you're winning already.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And by the way, to our audience, there's no script. So I don't know what Ian's going to say, and he doesn't know what I'm going to say. So thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. I want to give a little bit of background because I shared with you before the show started that actually the first broadcast that I can find on YouTube that we did together was almost 5 years ago to the day. So today is April the 12th, and it was April 21st, 2021. And I actually have something that I want to bring up on the screen because I think it's really important. This is where we were back then, and it was Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn. And can you see the visual? There we are. There's you and Helena. And it was just, it seems like it was so long ago, like a lifetime ago, but you really believed in me. You saw something, and I'm just so grateful for that because you have been an outstanding friend and mentor to me. I'm really grateful that we actually got to meet in person a number of times. I know we will again. And
that was the most emotional thing of the lot. Do you remember when we had to meet? We met, bearing in mind this was about 2 years in to us talking probably 3 times a week.
Yes, in Orlando.
I was in Florida, and I had to give a talk to 400 business women. And just before I was called up on stage to give my piece, there you came through the door, and it was like Moses parting the Red Sea. You suddenly sort of floated into my life, and we gave each other a hug. And I was so emotional, that this had actually happened. I thought, and then I had to clamber up on stage. And as you know, I never prepare a script, for when I'm talking to them, because I think you should talk from the heart, on what is the important issues of the day. And so that was the first time. It was the most amazing time to sort of see. We've met several times since. You've been to London, and I think, where you have created something. Now, this is something that I really want to see every woman in this world being able to do, to achieve your dreams. That's the most important thing, I think, of the lot.
I love that. I agree with you. And I remember Orlando and, of course, in London, and you and your partner, Helena, have your own studio that you have there in London. And I've actually had the pleasure of coming to your studio and being interviewed in person. So when I reached out to you and I said, Ian, I'd love to do a show again with you, what would the topic be that would really resonate? You really wanted to talk about promoting women. Can you tell us why this is so important to you and why you wanted to do this?
Of course, because I had, I'm be 75 in 2 weeks' time. So I've had a long life anyway to start off with. And then I was married for over 30 years and then had a sudden divorce, which I wasn't expecting in any way. I thought we had a good marriage, and it broke my heart. It broke my heart. And over the next 2 years, going through the divorce and trying to reconcile myself with who I was, because I had no idea anymore who I was. I thought that, the thing, I just, in the end, I obviously went into a state of depression. And through that depression, I lived in a car for 2 years. It just, nothing meant anything to me anymore at all. And then Helena Shard, my colleague now, she was probably the first one to say, no, you're not going to live like this. And she was determined, absolutely determined. And she gave me no inch of, backing away or trying to do something. And then gradually, I got surrounded by a group of women who circled me in love, who gave me the opportunity to come back to life. And when something like that happens in your life, I think you should always be grateful for what is actually happening.
When you share that story, and I think about you being homeless, it's so hard to imagine, because I look at you today and I've met with you in person, given you a hug, and I can look and see all of the interviews you've done across the world and all the work you've done with the royal family. So for someone who appears to have it all together, which a lot of times women do, right? And we come to men like you to listen to us go on and on, but many times we don't have it all together. And I know that you've been such a good friend to me and to so many other women. What are some of the things that you do as a man to really show, I am interested in what you have to say, I do care about you?
Yeah. First of all, the classic thing is listen. It's very simple. You teach listening, and listening is probably the most easy thing to do in life. The problem that women have, and this is where, you know, I give a lot of talks to women these days. The problem with what women have, you have this unique method that when we're having a conversation that may be of importance to you, it's an importance to me as well, then it could be an hour long, it could be longer than that, but you will slip in a 15-second soundbite that is really what's troubling you in that conversation. And if a man doesn't hear that 15-second soundbite and realize this is what is the nub of the problem, women go away thinking he's not listening to me. So as I say to all the women groups I talk to, men are not clever. I'm certainly not clever in any way, shape, or form. Men are not clever, and women are far more cleverer than men. So, so, you know, when I give my talks, I gave a talk a little while ago, and as you know as well, I'm a patron of a peace federation as well. And I was asked to give a talk one night to them on the subject of peace. And I'd arrived late instead. So instead of sort of seeing what the audience was like, I normally I like to sort of see them beforehand. Then I was at the back of the hall, and then I get called up on stage. And normally, because I have a leg problem these days as well, it takes me a little bit longer to actually clamber up onto stage. So I normally start off with something like a joke. And I normally start off by turning around to them and say, it's going to take me longer to get up on stage than it will be to actually deliver this talk to you tonight. And I turned round, and instead of looking at quite a warm audience, it looked like I was talking to the Taliban. There were 80 of the most strongest, sternest male faces that were there. And I thought, oh my God, what am I going to say? You know, I haven't prepared anything. And so then in the middle of that group of 80 men were these 4 ladies sat together. So I thought, do you know what? Now is the time for them to listen. What are the values to which are the values of women? So I said, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, ladies. I said, ladies, it's very nice to see you tonight. Gentlemen, can I give you a quick resume of who I am in life? I said, I love women. And there was this almost stunned silence, because a lot of these were Muslim clerics and so on. And I said, gentlemen, you do realize that women are much more clever than men. And there was this stunned silence by these 80 men, and these 4 ladies got up and clapped and cheered. I want women to win. And I think, you know, the reality of doing a show like this is important for me, because I think as I was going, I've been divorced over 20 years now, but as I was coming through the different stages of my life, I suddenly realized that I had a different antennae, and that all the troubles that I'd gone through in the earlier parts of that era When women were coming to me, and women are drawn to me for some reason, and I never know why, but and I think it's partly because I love women. The biggest thing that every lady has is a value I call womanhood. And womanhood to me is the most strongest value in this world. And so when you start looking at what are the values of women and how do you move them forward in their lives as well, I think it's very important that women realize they can do anything in their lives. Men don't think about, am I going to be successful? Am I going to do this? Perhaps some men do, but that doesn't come into a man's psyche. Whereas in a woman's psyche, I always remember working with a group of former models, and they created a program called Walking Tall, and they taught women, it was a piece of fun, but they taught women how to catwalk. And so they had these groups of women and they would teach them how to catwalk. And I think, and basically at the start of it, they started by saying, women, you know yourselves, that when you look in the mirror in the morning, you look to see everything that's wrong with you rather than what is right with you. Now, for me, men don't do that. You know, I mean, the only time I actually look in the mirror in the morning is just to comb my hair, adjust my tie so that I look okay, and off I go. I'm not thinking about what is the, am I going to be successful today or not? So I think women's psyche needs to change. And that's really what I'd like to do with this show as well, is women may come onto this show and we can actually talk about how good they really are, rather than, can I do this? Can I do that? So basically I do what we call a flip. So the flip is from can I to I can. That's the flip. And as you have proven, Jacalyn, women can do anything in your lives at all. You're highly successful, you're highly motivated, you're brilliant at what you do, and long may it continue. And my personal feeling, as you know, I do politics as well, or used to. If more women were involved in politics, I don't think we would be in quite the situations we are in this world right now. So, I vote for women all the time. I want to see women feel that they can do anything with their lives. And I think a lot of ladies that I've met in my time, basically what it is that they're told as young daughters by their mothers a lot of the time as well, don't rely on your beauty because that won't last very long, and just accept whatever you can get. No. Women should never, ever, ever expect the least values in their lives. No. Women are much more clever than that. Women have tremendous brains. You're creative, you're resourceful, you're empathetic. You have all the qualities that will really create great values to the world. And when I talk to a lot of ladies groups, obviously normally there's a lot of speakers before me, and I'm listening to all these speakers, and they're saying, well, the world is not peaceful today, and we don't know how to do about it, and people don't listen. And then I come up on stage and I say, ladies, there's only one thing that can change your life for the better, because I say every single one of you has got tremendous value. And do you want to know what that one word is that will change your life for the better? And they're all, you can see them now, they're all leaning forward. What is this word of wisdom? I said, talk. Talk about what you're doing. talk about how you're feeling, talk about the values in your life, talk about the issues that are important to you as well, because you will have a critical sense of actually changing people's lives for the better, including your own. And that's why, I love doing issues like this, because I think in reality, as I say, I truly mean it. People think I'm joking. Women are much more clever than men. They really are. You're much more clever than men, and I think men have got this a strength. I don't know. It's a compulsion that they think they can just do something. They don't really think about it that much. And women, have this voice in their heads saying, can I do this? My mother said, and it's almost like echoing from the past. And I meet so many women. I met as I say, I work with a lot of women these days, and I'm very happy to talk to any woman at any time and give her the encouragement that she needs to really create a value in her life. And I remember one time I met this beauty queen. Now, this beauty queen, she is stunning. She was absolutely stunning. She was training to become a surgeon, so she was very clever. She was very beautiful. She was very resourceful. She had gone through a situation in her life that was quite compelling, but she'd got over that situation as well. And we met, for tea in John Lewis's in London, where I normally have my afternoon tea. And I knew there was something wrong with her. And I thought, I cannot believe that this girl feels there's anything wrong with her at all. And so I started talking to her, but I just felt that there was an issue. And so what I do these days is I relate back to some of the issues that I went through and how I actually maneuvered my way out of these situations. So I started talking about that. And then the floodgates opened, and she leaned across me and said, I'm ugly. I'm ugly. And this was the most awesome moment where she was able to tell me something that was so deep inside her that she couldn't talk to anyone else. So I feel honored. I feel honored to work with women in the first place. I feel honored to work with you, Jacalyn. And I think, that the reality a lot of the time is that women must regard themselves as winners. Don't judge a situation, just do it. Just do that situation in your life, because you will win. When I look at all the struggles you've gone through, Jacalyn, and we've become personal friends as well. But when I see all of that, my God, what you've gone through, all the different issues that you've had, the struggles, and everything that's going on, as well in this world, it's nothing short of miraculous. So you are a typical example of how creative, how successful, how beautiful a woman can be, and you're winning. And I think, that's basically where, when I meet women today, and I get there's a sense of foreboding, or they're not sure about themselves or whatever. For me, every woman is beautiful. I love it. It's very simple. I love sitting down with women. The thing I really love about women as well is you never lose your sense of play. It's awesome.
That's true.
It's awesome. And so I like sitting on the subway at night. If and I normally try to sit close to women, because it's amazing. It's amazing because, a group of them, and they will start laughing together. And I almost feel like I want to join in as well, because there is joy. There's that few minutes of humor, whatever it's causing them at the moment. and they are able to bond. And this is what women must do more, I think, is to bond globally, to actually start pulling out the issues that really men have made a mess of.
You know, Ian, you brought up so many great points. We're not going to have time to discuss all of them, but I just want to recount a few of them. The first one was, in everything that we share with the man, I know myself, I tend to what I call blither, blah, 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 blah. And then in there is that one statement. It's like, this is what the whole thing is about, right? But we have so much else that we need to share. And I know typically that the men that I've had in my life, except for my father, he was a really good listener. And obviously you're a really good listener, but most men are not. They're like, get to the point, net it out. And what I found is, being in this business, that's how I am now, believe it or not. Now I'm like, tell me what it is you need so I can find the solution. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is, when we started the show and you started saying all of those wonderful, nice things about me, I was like, who is he talking about? Like, I'm like, who is he talking about? Because part of what I deal with is, being in the media industry, most people I know do not understand what I do, and they don't ask. So I take it as they don't care. So therefore, I don't share. And when I have had conversations with men, one of the things that comes up almost immediately is, how much are you making? How much money are you making? Was it worth you leaving corporate to go and do this? I'm like, wait a minute, why are you going right to the money? Well, that's all that matters. It's like, it's a number, and that's where you have to hit the mark. So that's something that men bring up. Maybe it's an American thing, I don't know. And then the last thing, when you just mentioned about that beauty queen and her saying that she was ugly, like, I was here with tears in my eyes, because I can understand that. It's like what we see in American culture, and I don't know how it is in the UK or anywhere else. We see these A-list celebrities who are getting all these things done to themselves in order to stop the aging process and stay relevant. And in some cases, to me, my heart just breaks, because it's definitely a miss in terms of what the final outcome is. But I think to myself, that pressure that they're under, that they must feel like in order to get work and to stay relevant. And that sort of trickles down through society, that you're never good enough. And then when you have men who are watching what's going on, and everyone's, I want to say everyone generally, but people are opting for surgery or weight loss drugs or whatever the case is, instead of saying, I love you just for who you are, just how you are.
Absolutely. And it's very simple. But basically, you have the passion to succeed. That's all you ever need in your life. I mean, 4th of July, American Independence Day, this year, I will have celebrated 60 years as a journalist now. And, and I can tell you for a fact that in 60 years, I've loved every single day of my working life. I feel it's an honor and a privilege to work with people like yourself and to women across the world. And you have so much to offer. This is what women don't get. And this is where, I would love to have, show where women, with people like yourself as well. And I think it's my destiny. I think it's my destiny as well, because I'm a great believer in the law of attraction. And I remember years ago really wondering, what is my destiny? What should I be doing? And the answer came back, create a television show that empowers women. And this is probably the start of the process now, where I think it is so important that women really understand that they're cleverer than men. Take this on board, and that using your kindness, your consideration, your thinking processes, basically all those characteristics are what the world needs at the moment. I look at this world at the moment, and I wonder, where are we? What's happening? What are we going to do next? women have the answers. You need to speak up more. You need to sort of realize that, nowadays you are more than important, I think, than men. Because, where we are looking at this world at the moment, it's a world, as we speak right now, it's a world full of tragedy. And it's a very scary world as well. And I think it's very important now for women have this tremendous strength, that they have strength of becoming mothers, of becoming wives, of looking after households. But that's only a very small part of it, because those skills are the skills that governments need. Women need to mother the world, to mother the governments, to actually focus on what they feel is going to create a more peaceful world. And they have the values. Womanhood is full of values that actually create the opportunity for women to win in this world. And that's what I dedicate, my life to as well. I want to see women winning, and when I see what's going on in this world right now, and I look at people like you and what you have done, Jacalyn, you're nothing short of amazing,
Who? He's talking.
You're nothing short of amazing, because, these things are going on in this world right now, and there you are, battling through it. I've been with many of the battles with you as well. So I know how brave you've been, how courageous you've been, how resourceful you've been to actually sort of move forward with this whole project. This is not an easy project. Trust me, we know, when Helena Shard, my colleague, and I, when we're working in television across the world, it's a crazy world that we're in. Recently when Prince Andrew got arrested, I'm 75 now, almost, and the phone is ringing 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm fast asleep. And I wake up and the phone is ringing, so I have to pick up the phone and hello, and I'm almost, who is this? And it's 8:05. He's been arrested at 8 o'clock in the morning. 8:05. The head of news for the top Indian channel in India is calling me to say, can I come on the TV show right now and give a comment on Andrew? I said, well, what's Andrew done? He said he's been arrested. Now I use that as a sort of situation where Helena and I then, Helena did a most incredible job, and so between us, I reckon we probably did about 15 shows across the world over a 2-day period in the festival, which is a lot of shows. And also working in places like Australia, where you have to be, up at about 2 o'clock in the morning, because, it's their breakfast show, because they're about 7 hours in front. And it just, gives the point that it is a very, very tough world to actually be in, and, more and more women should be given the opportunity to become more resourceful, more CEOs, more chairmen of companies, more entrepreneurs like yourself.
Thank you for sharing that. And I agree with you. We do have a number of comments, but we're not going to have a chance to get to them today. But we are sharing Ian's contact details, so please do connect with him. Something I thought was very interesting. I don't know if you're familiar with Barbara Corcoran. I really love her. She's been on Shark Tank for a long time. And she recently was interviewed by Mel Robbins. And the conversation was just about men and women. And so Barbara has been in the real estate industry for a long time. And what she shared was, when a man gets to the top or he accomplishes whatever it is, he's like, hey, look at me. Yeah, I did it. I'm the greatest. And when a woman gets to the top, she says, my team and I. my team and I. It wasn't just me. I have to thank X, Y, and Z. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I thought that was really profound. I've never actually thought of that before.
I mean, I can tell you, first of all, I've met a lot of chairmen, presidents, you name it. They are the most unsure people in their life that you could ever possibly meet. The higher up the scale they get, they rely on people like myself to give them what they should be doing. It is so they may sort of say, yay, I've made it. No, you haven't, because in reality, a lot of the time, all you've done is managed to get to the pinnacle. But I liken it to this slippery pole where you climb up the pole and great, you finally get to the top, but then it's just as easy to slip down that pole again as well. Now, when it comes to sharing things, women are far more at ease about actually realizing that their success is because of the team that is surrounding them. I mean, it's common sense, but you see, that's one of the attributes of women. Women have common sense. When women are saying, I've been, highly successful. Okay, and that's great. It's good for women to be able to say that. But as you so rarely say, in reality, it's a team effort all the time. For me, if Helena wasn't around, I wouldn't be anywhere near, as successful as I think and hope I am today. But then what does success mean anyway in the first place? I mean, nobody's more surprised than me that we do 15 interviews over 2 days. We do something like about 15 commentaries for Fox as well in America at the same time. And this whole thing is going on. And I wonder, how on earth do people get hold of me? I've no idea how these people get hold of me, but they do. And I think, the thing that women need to sort of value is that, yes, you can create success. And what women do naturally is they share that success with the people around them who has helped them create that success. That is their strength. They recognize that collectively you can create strength. Where if you are singularly like a man who thinks he's done it all, that's the worst type of president, chairman, you name it, CEO that you can ever possibly meet, because at the end, it's a very, very cold world out there. And the higher up you go, as I used to say, like a tree, the higher up you get on that tree, the thinner the branches to actually support you.
I love that analogy. That is terrific. Thank you. We are almost at the end of the program. And what I would love for you to do is give a shout out to whom it is we're looking for to join us as guests.
Basically, something like about 30 billion women around the world. This is a program now where any woman can come on the show, talk about anything that they want to talk about, but also listen and hopefully gain values that will create further respect for themselves, first of all. That's point number one. But then teaching women at the same time as well that forget what men say, forget what their mothers said, forget everything like that. Go and do something, speak about it, do about it, work on it, past all the different hurdles that you will actually achieve in your life, and win. Because the more female winners in this world, the more peaceful the place will be.
That is the key word, my friend. It is about finding peace. I absolutely love that. So thank you for championing this idea. I remember when I spoke to you a few years ago, you said you wanted to do a TV show that was about women, for women, and supporting women. So we have shared your LinkedIn, your Instagram, and your Facebook. Is there some other way that you want people to reach out to you?
No, it's just get hold of me. I mean, you know me, Jack, and I have no idea how social media works. You know,
I do know that.
So people seem to get hold of me somehow. And as I say, I'm never quite sure how this works. And as I said to you earlier, I do what I do in front of the camera. What goes on behind the camera, I've absolutely got no idea at all. But the thing I would say is I will listen to everybody who reaches out, and I will try and help alongside you.
Thank you very much. Well, my dear friend, I just want to really tell you from the bottom of my heart how much I love and appreciate you. And thank you for being here today. And I'll look forward to seeing you for our next episode next month.
Bless you. Bless you. Have a great day.
Bless you. Bye for now.
Take care.
Well, there you have it, our first episode of the Power Index. So please do go ahead and tell your friends and subscribe to our channels. We have 2 channels. I'm bringing up the graphic now. One of them on YouTube is USA Global TV and Radio, where we have earned the YouTube Silver Creator Award for over 100,000 subscribers, and Dr. Jacalyn KERBECK, as well as social media. And then this program also gets distributed to a number of other platforms through our distributors. So I want to thank you. Also, if you'd like to be a guest on this show, you can go over to our website, usaglobaltv.com. The notes are there wherever it is you're watching. And my final comment is, whatever it is that you want to do, take that first step. I was just talking to someone yesterday who wants to write a book and gave me 20 reasons why she can't write the book. Well, I have this to do. I have that to do. I started it 10 years ago. If you want to do something, take the first step, because if you're talking yourself out of it, it's never going to get done. And maybe it won't be the best. The first book that I wrote 5 years ago, a 0, by the way. When I look at it now, I'm like, mortified, but that's okay. You start somewhere. So we're here to help. You can reach out to me as well. And then my final comment is, I have a brand new book coming out tomorrow. It's called My Tummy Hurts, and it is for anyone who has children and they tell you, I have a tummy ache. Maybe it's a tummy ache and maybe it's not. I've had ulcerative colitis for 35 years, and I just wish that somebody would have listened to me way back when. And so now I'm hoping that you'll listen. Take a look. You can find the book over on Amazon and in fine bookstores. Bye for now. My Tummy Hurts by Dr. Jacalyn KERBECK. Meet Jackie. She loves recess, running with friends, and laughing on the playground. At school, Jackie tries to play like she always does, but suddenly the pain comes back. Lately, something feels different and her tummy hurts, sometimes a little and sometimes a lot. With the help of a caring teacher, a nurse, her mom, and a kind doctor, Jackie begins to understand what her body is trying to tell her. Sometimes tummy pain is more than a simple bellyache. Some children live with conditions like ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease. Jackie listens to her body. She asks for help. She knows she's not alone. And Jackie finds her way back to running, laughing, and being herself. My Tummy Hurts, a kid's guide to bellyaches and bathroom troubles by Dr. Jacalyn KERBECK, available on Amazon and in fine bookstores around the world.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacalyn KERBECK. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.